redirected to the else part. And this condition is going to be evaluated. If it is true, then these statements will be executed. Again, for example, if second condition 2 is also evaluated to false, then condition 3 will be checked. If it is also false, condition 4 will be checked. So whenever the condition returns true, that particular statement or statements only will be executed. For example, all the conditions are failed or false, then the else part will be executed. What is the statement or statements we have in the last else case? Those statements will be executed if all the conditions are evaluated to false. So this is else if ladder. Let me show you an example code to understand the else if ladder concept. See class name is largest. Here our purpose is to determine largest of the three given numbers. Class name as usual, because if you want to write any single program in Java, we need to create Java. We need to create a class. We covered that point in our last session. Public static void main. In our yesterday session, we cover what is public, what is static, what is void and main, so on. Now see, I created three variables and assigned the values 10, 20, 30 respectively. Variables are A, B, C, values 10, 20, 30. Now I want to find out biggest of these three numbers. See this first one, if condition. What is the condition here we have? If A greater than B and A greater than C. Here we are using logical AND operator. This logical AND operator returns true whenever these both conditions evaluated to true. Let me repeat. Whenever these two conditions evaluated to true, then only the entire statement returns true. So in our example, A is 10, B is 20, C is 30. A greater than B, 10 greater than 20, false. And A greater than C, 10 greater than 30, false. So it is evaluated to false. So this statement is skipped. That comes to the else if. If B greater than 20, B value is 20, 20 greater than 30. So it is also false. So this statement is skipped. It won't be executed. That comes to else part. So here we are not writing any condition. So by default, the else part will be executed because the given two conditions are false. So system.out.println that will be executed. Largest value is C, that is 30. So obviously, largest value among 10, 20, 30 is 30. So you are getting the output like largest value is 30. This is how to work with else if ladder. Clear, I hope. This is very, very important concept. Try to remember each and every point.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next branching statement is switch case. So this is also called multi-way conditional control structures. Nothing but we need to maintain multiple conditions and multiple cases here. So how to execute this, how to work with this. Before that, see the syntax. Switch is a keyword of the Java. Expression. Here we need to write one expression that might be a variable also sometimes. And this expression value is compared with the values of the cases. Case is a keyword, space, we need to write one value. If this expression is matched with value 1, then that particular block only will be executed. Okay? And remaining cases are skipped. For example, this expression value is 10, let us say. And this value 1 is also 10. Now, this particular case will be executed and all the remaining cases are skipped. It reaches to the ending point of the switch case. And if you have any statements out of the switch case, those will be executed. For example, expression value is 10, but case 1 value is 20, but case 2 value is 10. Then what happens? The expression value is compared with the value 1. 10, 20, for example, not matched, not equal. So these will be skipped in this case. And that comes to the second case value 2. Let us say the value 2 is 10. Now expression value is matched with case 2, value 2. So this particular case is executed and remaining cases are ignored. For example, the expression value is 5. The expression value is 5, but we don't have 5 in any case. In such cases, the default case will be executed. Whatever the statement or statements you have in the default case, that statement or those statements will be executed. So let me repeat the rules. First, switch contains one expression. That expression value is matching compared with values of the cases. With which case the expression value is matched or equal, that particular case only will be executed. Remaining cases will be ignored, will be skipped. If all the values of the cases are failed or not matched with the expression value, in such cases, default case, the last case, default is executed. Okay. Next point is here we are using break statement. Observe here. Break. Why we are writing this break? This break is used to stop the execution of the particular case. For example, switch value is 10. Case 1 value is also 10, let us say. So these two values are matched. So case 1 starts the execution. The execution of the case 1 will be started. If you are not writing break statement, the execution continue for the case 2 also. But what is our goal? We need to execute a case which value is equal to the expression. No need to execute the remaining cases. To implement this, we need to write the break. So that particular case only will be executed and the execution stops at the end of that particular case. So this is the use of break statement. So this is the flow chart. See the example. The intention of this program is to display the name of the day depending on the number entered from the keyboard. The user has to enter some number through the keyboard. Depending on the number, we need to display the name of that day. See, class name is days. So as usual, we need to write the main method and just forget about this. We will cover in the concept of the IO exception. Then say int day assignment 1, variable is day and assigning with 1. And we are giving that variable day to the switch case. Okay, in this example, day value is 1. So here the day value is 1. Now this day value is compared with first case, where the first case value is 1. And the value we have in the day is also 1. These two are equal. Then the case 1 starts the execution. The execution of the case 1 will be started. What the statement we have in the case 1? System.out.println Monday. So Monday will be printed on the screen. And break is used to terminate the execution of the cases with case 1 only. If you are not writing the break, case 2 also executed, but that is not our intention. We want to execute only particular case where the number is matched with that particular case. In this example, 1 means Monday, 2 means Tuesday, 3 means Wednesday, 4 means Thursday, 5 means Friday, 6 Saturday, 7 Sunday. If you are assigning any number other than these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that is caused to execution of the default case. Suppose if you enter 8, but you have the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 only. So that value is not matched with any case. That comes to the default case. And what is the statement you have in the default case? Number not valid, or you can write enter a valid number. Okay. So such a way the switch case will be executed. Clear, I hope. Suppose if you change day value is 2. So this case is selected and the statements what you have in this particular case 2 only will be executed. Nothing but if you assign 2 to the variable day, the output is Tuesday. If you assign 3, the output is Wednesday. 4, if you assign, the output is Thursday, and so on. Okay, this is about switch case. Now, as we covered in the control statements, we have several categories: branching, looping, and jumping. So branching statements concept is over. In that branching statements, we covered simple if else, nested if if ladder, and switch case. Now, coming to the looping statements or looping control structures. If you want to execute any statement or collection of the statements repeatedly, more than one time, write once but execute more than one time. If you want to implement such type of the requirement, then you can go for the looping concepts. So in that, we have three different type of the loops called while, do while, and for loop. In this, some are called entry level loops and some are exit level loops. Coming to this entry level loop, nothing but the condition is going to be tested at the starting point of the particular point, at the starting point of the particular loop. If the condition is checked at the ending of the particular loop, those are called exit controlled loop. Nothing but we are checking the condition at exit level. If you check the condition at the entry level, those are called entry level controlled loops. While and do while are called entry level controlled loops because we are going to checking the condition at the entry point of the loop. And do while is called exit controlled loop. Nothing but we are going to check the condition at the exit point of the loop. Okay. See, entry level while, for exit level do while. Now let us start to work with the while. See the syntax. How to write the while loop. While is a keyword and within the parenthesis we need to write the condition. If this condition is true, the body of the loop will be executed. What is the statement or what are the statements you have in the while loop? Those will be executed. After executing those statements, again that has to be redirected to the starting point. Remember, this is very important point. Whenever the control reaches to the ending point in the looping concept, that should be redirected to the starting point once again. Again, the condition is evaluated. If the condition is true in the second time also, again second time, the body of the loop will be executed. It reaches to the ending point. Again, it needs to redirect to the starting point. Condition will be evaluated. If it is true, third time, the body of the loop will be executed and so on. Whenever the condition becomes false, whenever the condition becomes false, then it comes out of the loop. Suppose the condition is evaluated to false. Then the control comes out from the loop. If you have any statement or statements here, those will be executed. So this is the execution procedure of the while loop. Okay. See the example code so you can understand the concept easily. Here my intention is to print the numbers from 1 to 10. Class name, printing, public static void main string as usual for every program. Creating one variable I of int type, assigning the value 1 because I want to count. Okay. I want to print 1 to 10, nothing but I want to print 1, then 2, then 3, next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like that, I want to print the numbers. So starting number is 1, right? So that's why I am assigning 1. starting number. And I want to execute the print statement, printing the I value multiple times. Up to the I value reaching to the 10, I want to print the value. Starting value is 1, ending value is 10. So I value is 1. So 1 less than or equals to 10 means 1. I less than or equals to 10 means what? 1 less than or equals to 10 because I value is 1. 1 less than or equals to 10. Yes, this is true. If this is true, the control enters into this block. And within this block, this is the starting point of the while. This is the ending point of the while loop. System.out.println, I value will be displayed. What is the I value at this moment? 1. So 1 will be displayed here. I plus plus. I plus plus means the value of the I will be incremented by 1. I value is 1. I plus plus means 2. Okay. Now I value is 2. Next, it reaches to the ending point. As it is a while loop, we need to redirect to the starting point again because we are working with looping now. Again, starting point. Now I value is 2, right? In the previous iteration, I value is 2. 2 less than or equals to 10. Yes, that is also true. If it is true, that enters into the block system.out.println. At this moment, I value is 2. So 2 is printed on the screen. I plus plus, that means 3 because I value is 2 na. I plus plus means 2 plus 1. I plus plus is equals to I plus 1. Okay, 3. Again, it reaching to the starting point. 3 less than or equals to 10. True. That I value 3 will be printed. I plus plus, I value becomes 4. Reaching to the ending point, redirect to the starting point, and so on. So every time the I value is incremented and printed. So 4, 5, 6, 7 incremented and printing. Whenever it reaches to the value 10, 9, 10. So 10 will be printed. Then I value becomes 10 plus 1, 11. Redirecting to the starting point. 11 less than or equals to 10, it is false. When it becomes false, it comes out from that loop. If you have any statement or statements, those will be executed. So this is how to implement while loop. Is it clear? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Next, do while. Just slight differences compared to the while. See the example code, you can understand it. The purpose of the program is to finding sum of the natural numbers. Otherwise, if you want to write the same code to print 1 to 10, you can implement that logic also. Our major difference is here in place of the while condition, we need to write do. Okay, don't write the condition at the starting point because while is exit control loop. We need to write the condition at the exit level. So we need to write that this place at the exit point of the looping. So do enters into the block. So without checking the condition, we are going to enter into the block. First iteration, I value will be printed. That is 1. Okay. Let me check the example code. See, I want to print 1 to 10. So this is the example code to print 1 to 10 using do while. Int I assignment because starting value is 1, then do. Don't write any condition here in the do while. Do, then within the block, we need to write output statement system.out.println. So welcome. This code is used to print welcome 10 times. Instead of that, I want to print the I value. Okay. I value is printed. What is I value? 1. The next statement is plus plus, nothing but I plus 1. I plus 1 means 1 plus 1, nothing but 2. I value becomes 2. Then it reaches to the ending point. This is, but here we have the condition. At the exit, we have the condition. While I less than or equals to 10 will be evaluated. At this moment, I value is 1. 1 less than or equals to 10, that is true. So it is going to be redirected to the do statement again. So redirect to the do, entering into the blank, printing the I. That is 2. I plus plus. I becomes 3. 3 less than or equals to 10. True. So again redirect into the do. 3 will be printed. I becomes 4. 4 less than or equals to 10. True. Again redirecting and so on. Like that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 also will be printed. After printing this 10, I value 10, I plus plus, I becomes 11. And coming to the condition, 11 less than or equals to 10 becomes false. Then it comes out from the do while loop. If you have any statement or statements after the do while, so it exit. If you have any statement or any statements after the do while, it going to be executed. Otherwise, the program is terminated. Let me execute this code. You will get a clarity. Do while. So how to execute? I think you remember using the a normal Java application without using any third-party IDE. See, go to the location where you saved your file, and in that, in the address bar, type CMD. In the address bar, type CMD command prompt. Then press enter. And now try to compile the program first to Java C, and your file name you must type here. What is your file name? See, this is our file name, do while. Okay, class name should be your file name. One minute. Right. See, let me execute that code. Java space. Our file name is do while dot Java. We cover this, right? Java C. We missed CV here. Java C, Java compiler, space, file name, dot Java. Press enter. So no errors. Okay. Compiled successfully. Then run it. Command is Java space file name. Then press enter. See, this is the output. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, this is how to execute a Java code where we are implementing do while. Clear, I hope. Then next loop is for loop. Let me show you the example code, and with help of that, we can understand it easily. Before that, let me tell you one more point. Yes, for loop, or theoretically, the concept is same. That might be a loop, do while loop, or while loop, or for loop. These loops are used to execute a single statement or block of the statements repeatedly. Whenever the condition becomes false, the control comes out from the particular loop. Now, coming to the for loop, the syntax is for initialization, starting value, condition, and increment or decrement. And within the body, we need to write the logic. What you want to execute multiple times, you can write that logic within the for loop. So this is the syntax to implement the for loop. So let us see one example to understand that. So I'm using same logic to print 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Now see, public class name, for example. Okay, you can take any name, but you must save your file with this class name only. This is compulsory. Your file name should be your class name. For example, public static void main string args, compulsory for every program. Int I, declaring a variable I, but I am not assigning any value. In the previous code, in the while and do while, we assigned the value 1 for the variable I, right? But here we declare the variable but not assigning the value. And then come to here, this is the for loop. For initialization, this is the initialization part, condition part, semicolon, increment or decrement, depending on your logic, depending on your requirement, you may use increment or decrement. But here my requirement is I want to print numbers 1 to 10. So first 1 has to be printed. Next to 2, that is incremented. Next number is 2. Next number is 3. That every time incremented by 1. So in this case, we need to take increment. Okay, starting value is 1. So first initialization will be executed, I is equals to 1. And next, that condition is checked with the given condition where I value is 1, 1 less than or equals to 10, that is true. If this is true, the control enters into this block. And within the body or within the block, we have the statement, output statement to print the value available in I. What is the value available in I? That is 1. 1 is printed on the screen, reaching to the ending point. But this is a for loop. Again, it has to be redirected to the for loop. In this for loop, after completion of the first iteration, increment or decrement part will be executed. So increment part will be executed in this example. I plus plus, I becomes 2. Next step is with the incremented value, this condition will be checked. 2 less than or equals to 10, true. Again, this statement is executed. In this case, I value is 2. So 2 will be printed on the screen. Ending point. Again, I plus plus, I value 3. 3 less than 10, true. 3 will be printed. Reaching ending point. Redirecting to the starting point. I plus plus 4. 4 less than or equals to 10, true. 4 value will be printed and so on. So after 10, whenever the I value is 10, in the next iteration, I becomes 11. 11 less than or equals to 10 becomes false. Then the control comes out of the for loop. If you have any statements here, those will be executed. Otherwise, program is terminated. So this is how to print the values 1 to 10 with help of the for loop. Let me execute this code. Observe the output. For example, let me copy this name to avoid the spell mistakes. CMD Java C space file name dot Java for the compilation. If you have any errors, the errors will be displayed here. So we are not getting any errors, nothing but the program is successfully compiled. The next step is run the program. Java space file name. Press enter button. Now see, this is the output. So concept is same, logic is same, but we are using for loop here. Okay. Our theme is same to print the values from 1 to 10. So we cover the same logic with while, do while, and for loop. Clear, I hope. Next. This is about looping statements. Okay. We have one more looping statement which was not in CCPP. That is called for each loop. For each loop. Okay. So generally, this loop is used to work with collections. Collection is nothing but that store more than one values. A collection is a collection of elements simply, okay, which stores multiple values, more than one values, is called collection. And if you want to retrieve one element at each and every iteration, you can use for each for loop, okay, for each loop. Even though the word each we have in the name for each, we should not use the each keyword where we use just for only for. Okay. See the example code. For example, I have the collection that is array like int x, square bracket indicates array assignment. The elements I have in that array are 10, 20, 30. Then this is how to implement for each loop. For within the parenthesis, data type of k. Okay, k is one variable. Data type of that k is int type. K colon your collection name. Our collection name is x, right? So we need to write x. Variable name colon x. So in each and every iteration, one element is stored into this k. In the first iteration, first element that is 10. 10 is stored into k. Then I want to print that. So on the screen, 10 will be printed first. And this is the loop. Na? So as it is a loop, that must be redirected to the starting point again. Okay, after execution of this, that must be redirected to the starting point of that loop. In the second iteration, second element 20, 20 will be stored in the variable k. So that k will be printed in the output statement. So by using output statement, 20 will be printed. Again, it is redirected to the starting point. Third element, next element, we have next element na? Third element will be stored in K that is printed on the screen using output statement. So 30 will be printed. Again, it is redirecting. It is trying to retrieve the next element, but we don't have any elements. We have only three elements, no fourth element. In such cases, it comes out from that particular for each loop. So finally, the output is 10, 20, 30. So this is how to work with for each loop. Okay. Next, nested looping. Very simple. By the name, you can understand it. Nested looping. We can write one loop within the another loop. This concept is called nested loop. We can write one for loop within the another for loop. We can write one while loop within the another while loop. Not only for within the for, you can write one for within while. You can write do while within the for. Like that, any combinations, one while, one loop within the another loop. That concept is called nested looping concept. Generally, this nested looping concept is used to work with two-dimensional arrays. Okay, where array is used to store similar data elements, collection of the similar data elements. See this example, then you can understand how to implement nested looping concept. In this example, I am using nested for loop, nothing but one for loop, and within that for loop, I am using one more for loop. So this is called nested for loop. one for loop within another for loop. Then we created two-dimensional array here. See, A, that is two-dimensional array name is A. Two square brackets indicates that is two-dimensional array. Row 1 values are 1, 2, 3. Row 2 values 4, 5, 6. Row 3 values are 7, 8, 9. Nothing but 1 space 2 space 3. Row 1. 4 space 5, comma 6. Row 2. 7, 8, 9. Row 3. Okay. Like that, these values are stored. Then coming to this for loop, int I assignment 0, I less than 3, 0 less than 3. Yes, 0 less than 3 is valid. Why we are using 3? Because how many rows we have? 1, 2, 3. That's why we are taking I less than 3 here. Because the index of the first row is 0, index of the second row is 1, index of the third row is 2. Always index value starts from 0, incremented by 1 every time. So first row index value is 0, second row index value is 1, third row index value is 2. So index value ends at less than 3, that is 2. That's why we are creating the condition like I less than 3. And every time the index value is incremented by 1, 0, 1, 2, incremented by 1. That's why we are taking I++. So depending on our requirement, you must analyze the problem first. Depending on that, you must create the condition and increment or decrement part. Now, I assignment 0, 0 less than 3, that is true. So it enters into the for loop. Now, system.out.println, just empty space is created. Then next for loop, this is second for loop. For loop within the another for loop. This is called nested looping, nested for loop concept. Now j equals to 3, j less than 3, j plus plus. Why we are taking this? Here j represent columns. First column, second column, third column. First column index is 0, second column index is 1, third column index is 2. Okay. So the third column index is also starts from 0, ends with 2, less than 3. Ends with 2 means less than 3. Na? If you want to change the condition like I less than or equals to 2, this is also valid in place of I less than 3. If you want to write I less than or equals to 2, that is also valid because index value is starts from 0, ends with 2, up to 2 only. We need to work with this matrix or table up to reach index value is 2, less than or equals to 2. The indices values of the columns or rows are 0, 1, 2, nothing but less than or equals to 2. So depends on that only we are framing the condition. Now, whenever we entering into the inner loop, the output statement will be executed. What is the output statement? /t is used to print tab space, that is for spacing only. A I comma j. What is the I value? 0. What is the j value? 0. 0, 0. Nothing but this element. First 0, row and column index is 0. Row index is also 0. Column index is also 0. See, first element index value is 0, na? 0. And this one's position column index is also 0. So this is element. The index value of this one is 0, 0. Okay. So it is used to print the element which is available at 0, 0 location. That is 1. And it reaches to the ending point of the inner for loop. So as it is a looping concept, it has to redirect it to the starting point. After that, j++ will be executed first. J becomes 1. With the updated value, the condition will be checked. 1 less than 3, true. Again, it enters into the inner for loop. Output statement, A of I comma j. In this case, I value is 0, but j value is 1. 0, 1. So row index is 0 and column index is 1, this one. So that is 2. Okay. So 2 will be printed on the screen. And next, reaching to the ending point once again, as it is a looping concept, it is going to be redirect to the starting point. J plus plus, j value becomes 2. 2 less than 3, true. So it is true. That's why entering into the loop again. ai comma j, I value is 0, j value is 2. 0, 2 element. 0, 2 element means row index is 0, column index is 2. Which one? This is row index is 0, column index is 2. Element is 3. So the 3 element is stored at the index 0, 2. So that element will be printed. Okay. So like that, 3 values are printed now. Now see, again it is going to be redirected to the starting point. J becomes 3 now. 3 less than 3? No, it is false. So it comes out from the inner for loop. Observe, okay? Whenever the condition becomes false in the inner for loop, the control comes out from the inner for loop only. Okay, then this is false. Now it is going to be reached to the ending point of the outer loop. But this is also a loop. So it must comes out from the loop whenever the condition becomes false. But in the previous step, we have seen that we worked with int I assignment 0 case. That is true. We need to redirect to the outer loop once again. In this case, I plus plus will be executed. I becomes 2. Sorry, I becomes 1. 1 less than 3, true. Again enter into the outer for loop. System.out.println space is created. Inner for loop. J assignment 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. So j assignment 0 is executed. 0 less than 3, true. Entering into the block. A, I0. In this case, I value is 1. J value is 0. 1, 0. Row index is 1. Column index is 0. Which one? So this is row index 1. Column index 0. That represent element 4. So that element will be printed on the screen. So like that, for every index value of the row, outer for loop I, the inner for loop j will be executed 3 times because the index values of the first row element are 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. So for each and every index of the row, the column loop will be executed 3 times because we have 3 columns. Okay, so this is how to implement nested for loop concept. Next one is control statements. In this jumping control statements, in the jumping statements, simply we have 2 types of these statements. One is break, second one is continue. Then what is break? Whenever you write break statement, it is used to comes out from the loop. Already we used break in switch case, right? It is used to comes out from a particular block. For example, see, for I assignment 1, I less than or equals to 10, I plus plus. I equals to 1, iteration 1, 1 less than or equals to 10, true. Entering into the loop. Hello will be printed. If I is equals to 5, no, in the first iteration I value is 1. So 1 is equals to 5, no, it is false. So break won't be executed because we are using if. If this condition returns true, then only break will be executed, reaching to the ending point. As it is a looping concept, it has to redirect it to the starting point again. In this, I plus plus will be executed. I becomes 2. 2 less than or equals to 10. True. Again entering into the loop. Hello will be printed second time. I is equals to 5. In this iteration, I value is 2. 2 is equals to 5. No, it returns false. Break won't be executed. Reaching to the ending point. Redirected to the starting point. I becomes 3. 3 less than or equals to 10. True. Entering into the body. Hello will be printed third time. I value is 3 in this iteration. 3 is equals to 5? No. False. Break won't be executed. Ending point. Redirect to the starting point. Like that, whenever the I values are 1, 2, 3, 4, the hello will be printed 4 times. When I value is 5, observe, I value is 5, 5 less than or equals to 10, true, entering into the loop, hello will be printed 5th time. And if I is equals to 5, where I equals to 5, I value is 5, 5 is equals to 5, yes, true, this is true. As it is true, the break statement is executed. When the break statement is executed, that control comes out from this loop. The control exits the loop. So this is how to use break statement. The break statement is used to exit from the loop, exit from the block. Okay. Even though you know that, I hope we covered that point also. Observe this condition. What is the condition we have written here is I less than or equals to 10. Generally, the loop consists of 10 iterations because starting value is 1. So it needs to be executed 10 times actually. But as here we are using break statement, it executed only 5 times. Whenever the I value reaches to the 5, automatically that comes out from the loop. So from this, what you need to understand is, even though the condition is not false, even though the condition is not false, if you want to exit from the for loop or any loop, you can use break statement. Okay, it is used to exit from the looping or any block. That is about break statement. So when it reaches to the I equals to 5, so remaining iterations are cancelled. It has 10 iterations now, but after reaching this point, remaining all iterations will be cancelled. Remember this. So that's why the word hello printed 5 times only, because at the 6th time, the break is executed. Now, very important, continue. These two are also very important. Continue is used to skip a particular iteration only. When you use continue, that is used to skip the remaining statements in a particular iteration, and it is used to continue the execution of remaining iterations. See the same code. Okay. Let me take the same code. I want to do some modifications. See here. Let us say in place of break, in place of the break, I have continue. Okay. In place of the break, I want to write continue. Think that there is no break. Semicolon. Right. Now, what happens? Observe here. I equals to 1, hello will be printed. I equals to 2, hello will be printed. 3, 4. And whenever the I value reaches to the 5, this if condition will be checked. 5 is equals to 5, it returns true. Whenever it reaches true, the continue statement will be executed. After this statement, after the if block, whatever the statement you have, after the if condition, whatever the statement you have, that will be executed. So continue will be executed. So if you have any statement after the continue statement, those will be skipped for that particular iteration. Okay. And next point is, and the remaining iterations will be executed as usual. Okay. Nothing but it reaches to the ending point once again. I become 6. 6 less than or equals to 10. Hello will be printed. Okay. 6th time, 7th time, 8th time, and so on. 10 times. So you must understand that the continuous statement is used to skip the current iteration only. What is the statement or what are the statements you have after the continuous statement? Those only will be skipped and the remaining iterations will be executed as usual. But coming to the break is used to terminate the loop completely. Okay, whenever the control reach to the break statement, the entire execution of the loop will be terminated. Continue, that particular iteration only will be terminated. Then remaining iterations will be continued as usual. That's why the name is continue. Remaining iterations will be continued. Okay, so this is about continuous statement. And with this, we completed the complete concept of control structures. Let me tell you in brief what we covered. Control statements. We have three categories: branching, looping, jumping. In the branching statements, we have the topics like simple if else, nested if else if ladder, and switch case. In the looping concept, while, do while, for loop. In the jumping concept, break, continue. This is 20 marks question. Okay. You must write all these things. Suppose if you get the question like explain about the control statements. You must write all these things. But you can try to minimize this. No need to write each and every point like this. Because to make you understand the concept, I used more and more points here. But try to write in a brief way in your examination because observe it has 26 pages. Okay, no need to write this much of lengthy one and just try to compress that. Try to cover main points, but you are suggestible to write programs. Write the important points as a point wise and write a syntax and example program. That is enough. If the purpose of the if, syntax code. If else, purpose, syntax, simple code. That is enough. Okay, just follow that way, you will score more marks. Yeah, any doubts? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll share this PPT already with your in charge HOD sir. So sir will be shared to you. Other than that, I shared some animation related video also regarding to the bitwise operators. All are very important. I repeat once again, whatever the concept we are covering is probably all are very important. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Amma, thank you. Right. Right.
Uh, Hello. Uh, Hello, sir. Are you there? We did not receive the books for fifth sem yet.